When I walked into that ICU room and saw my daughter-in-law dying alone, something inside me broke. My name is Margaret, and I flew from Toronto to Florida without telling my son, Daniel, that I was coming. His wife, Emily, had been rushed into the ICU the night before. A neighbor called me because no one could reach Daniel. When I arrived, Emily was pale, hooked up to machines, struggling for breath, and the chair beside her bed, the one her husband should have been sitting in, was empty. I asked the nurses, "Has my son been here?" They shook their heads. Not once, not for a minute. My heart sank so deep I could feel it in my bones. I stepped out into the hallway, dialed Daniel again, straight to voicemail. Something didn't feel right, so I asked the neighbor to check the house. 10 minutes later, she sent me a photo. Daniel, driving around town, with two girls laughing in the car I had bought him, while his wife was fighting for her life. I didn't cry, I didn't scream. I simply walked outside, stood under the Florida sun, and called the police. My voice didn't even shake when I said, "I want to report a stolen vehicle." For 2 days, Emily fought in that cold ICU room, and Daniel sat in a holding cell. When they released him, he came home furious, calling me every name he could think of. But when he arrived at my door, ready to shout, he found me sitting calmly with Emily's parents and a lawyer. I slid the papers toward him, everything I owned, every asset he thought he would inherit someday, signed over to Emily. He dropped to his knees. "Mum, you can't do this." I looked him dead in the eyes. "You already did." 2 weeks later, Emily recovered enough to come home. Her first smile broke me in half, not from pain but relief. Daniel, he's living in a rented room now, trying to figure out where he went wrong. But you and I, we know exactly where. If this were your son, would you have done what I did? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support keeps these stories alive.